Hey, Deanna Seymour here with a quick heads up. This is a collection of past shows and ongoing experiments. You're going to hear different intros and old ads, but the ideas still hold up. You can tell where you're at by the cover art. And if you ever want to chat about life and business, check out my free community at jointheplayhouse.com. Do you ever find yourself rushing through your days, just checking off your to-do list and wondering where you'd even find the time to tap into your own joy? Or if you did find the time, what would it even look like for you? My guest today has a sassy mouth and a lot of awesome takes on how to add more joy to your life. And she made me cry. True story. So get ready for a great episode. And in case you're new here, you're listening to my series called Cool People Doing Cool Things. And I'm your host, Deanna Seymour, graphic designer and founder of the Playhouse, where networking is actually fun. Today, I'm hanging out with Ashley Looker. She's a wellness and empowerment coach who teaches ambitious, overachieving humans how to slow down and align with their soul purpose so they can step out of overwhelm and busyness and into their joy. But she does it with a lot of sass, like I said. So let's get to it. Hey, Ashley, how's it going?
Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I am good. I'm really excited about this conversation because we are like new friends. That's right. I'm going to call us friends. Is that okay?
Yes.
Too
Oh
soon?
my
Too
gosh,
soon?
please do. No.
Okay. We are new friends because Ashley was brave enough to reach out to me about being on my podcast. And when I looked into her stuff, I was like, oh my God, how have we not already found each other on the internet? What the hell?
I was feeling the same way. I was like, play, joy, like this chick seems awesome. She has colored hair. I have colored hair.
I know. Same. For some reason, I was like, algorithm, put us together. What the hell? So you're here now, and I'm excited. And I've been following you on Instagram since we first chatted via email. And I'm really excited to dive into this and talk about joy. So I want to start. This is like my new thing. I've done it the past 2 things that I've recorded where I turn into Brene Brown and I'm like, let's define what you mean by this. But I think it's a really smart thing to do. And hopefully I'll keep doing it and stop talking about Brene Brown every single time. But
I love it.
On your website, It said, joy is a practice, do it daily. And I was like, oh yeah, like you have to keep doing it. But I want you to talk about like your definition of joy and kind of break down what that means to you.
Yeah. So joy is completely unique to every single person. What brings me joy in my life probably doesn't bring you joy in your life. And that is one of the reasons why I say that joy is a practice, is because we have spent our lifetimes being taught and sold that we need to be productive and we need to provide value in the world. And so along the way, we've completely disconnected from our joy and forgot what our joy is. And so joy for me really is a constant unlearning of the BS that we have been taught, and reconnecting back to the thing that makes you really feel alive. And there could be several things, there could be one thing that makes you feel alive. There could be several things that make you feel alive. But yeah, it is definitely a practice of like incorporating it into your day little by little, as much as you possibly can, and within reason, right? Like we kind of talked about this before too, Deanne, like we are all living in different seasons. We all have different life circumstances. And so again, joy for me might look like an hour reading in my hammock, but for somebody else, they might go, that sounds miserable, or there's absolutely no time for that. Right. So it's kind of like joy is almost like an experiment. As we get older, it becomes like an experiment of like, does that still bring me joy? Like I used to love doing that as a kid, but I wonder if it does still bring me joy. Like, let me just experiment and see. Or this thing is kind of seems interesting to me. Like, let me take the calligraphy class. Let me take the Taekwondo class. I don't know. There's so many ways that we can experiment with joy.
Yeah. Okay. This is interesting because you also talk about trying to make sure that we don't accidentally make joy feel like another thing we have to do. And like you said, we're all trying to be productive.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, I'm listening to this podcast. Ashley's saying joy is a practice. I'm going to do it daily. Like,
Mm-hmm.
get out a habit tracker, and I
Yes.
better find joy every single day, or else I'm a failure at joy. So,
It's so hard. I know it's so hard because when we are so ingrained, like when it's so ingrained in us to like be busy and we are so busy and we're so attached to our productivity, it is incredibly difficult to incorporate that joy. And so I definitely am guilty of being like, put joy on your to-do list,
mhm.
like make sure that it is somewhere in your day that you can see it, that you can at least be reminded that like, I get to have joy. I get to choose it if I want to, like whether that is 5 minutes or 30 minutes. And it is definitely like a fine line, Deanna. And I'm not even sure like I have completely figured that piece of it out. I just know for me, like, because it's so ingrained in me to be busy and be productive that I needed to put like read my book in my hammock on my to-do list and be like, oh shit, like that's right. I get to do this.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Okay. As you're saying that, I'm like, all right. I think one thing I do, and I wonder if the listeners do this too, is I like even coming into this interview or hearing you say read it in your hammock. I'm like automatically like, yeah, I should read more. And like you even said, like just 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, 5 minutes of reading is what's going to bring me joy. But I'm already like just making up an arbitrary thing. Like I need to read
yes.
for 5 minutes every day. When what I kind of heard you say is like find joy every
Mm-hmm.
day. And maybe like I've had a bad day and I have a headache and like reading wouldn't bring me joy right now. Like, do
Right.
you know what I mean? So,
Absolutely. Like
okay.
really meeting yourself where you are at because it's not always reading in the hammock. Sometimes it's a walk with my dog. Sometimes it's starfishing on my carpet in my my office and staring at the ceiling and giving myself 5 minutes to just do nothing.
Mhm.
So one of the things that I think might help clear this up too is that joy, excuse me, joy doesn't have a reason other than joy. Like
Mhm.
joy does not have a result. Like so many of us are looking for an outcome and a result on the other side. We just get to have joy for joy's sake. And that is one of the ways that we can kind of tell, like, okay, am I in joy? I mean, for me, I was so disconnected from my joy. I'm like, is this joyful? What's happening? Like, what? I don't know. Okay, like I'm reading in my hammock. Do I feel joy right now? Like, it's kind of
Uh-huh.
process of like, oh wait, or did somebody just tell me that I should be doing this right now? So that
Mhm.
is really a part of the unlearning and just really checking in with yourself and going, okay, I get to have this because this feels like fun to me right now. This feels playful. This feels relaxing. This does feel like joy. Um, and you're not going to feel like, I think the other expectation that many of us have is that we're going to feel so elated and we're going to feel so incredible after this. Like, that's not always the case, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you just feel 1% more connected to yourself, or 1% more calm, or 1% more expansive or open, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, there's a lot of expectation that comes around with joy too.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm thinking of all my shoulds. Like I'm usually in my head, I'm like, I should read more. I should walk every day. I was doing a good streak where I was walking a mile as soon as I woke up for every day for like a few months. And then I fell off. But those don't have to be my joy. Like that could also
Right.
be a goal of mine to be like, hey, I have knee pain and I don't want to get old. Like I do feel better when I walk, even though when I'm walking, I'm like, boring. But I don't also have to like, I don't have to pretend like that's my joy. Like
Yes.
the joy you're talking about can be like a complete waste of time according to like your productive side.
Right. Exactly. Joy is a complete fucking waste of time. Like, because it's not productive. And that is definitely how I experienced it for a really long time. Like, when I would read in my hammock, we'll just go back to that example. My mind would be like, Ashley, but you could be doing this. You should be doing this instead. Remember those emails that you have to check? Remember that assignment you have to do? Remember, like, my mind was just constantly going of like telling myself that there were so many other things that were a better use of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the conditioning.
Yeah.
That is the conditioning that we are all up against. And it took me a long time to learn to see that like kind of resistance of like, oh shit, I should be doing this right now, as like, oh, this is a good thing because my brain is changing. Like
Mhm.
I'm learning in this moment, although it's not, it feels like there's a lot of tension. Like I'm learning that I deserve to have this. I deserve to relax. I deserve to rest. I deserve to feel joy. And so it's an interesting dance, Deanna, as we're
Yeah.
learning to incorporate our joy back into our life. Yeah.
So, I mean, the way you're describing it, it might not feel joyful at first.
Yeah.
It because you're like
Correct.
pushing up against it's like a rebellion where you're like, "No, bitch, I'm going to lay in my hammock and read." Like, shut up, calm down.
Joy is rebellious. 1,000%. I've been talking a lot about that lately, and I didn't really realize that until recently. I've been doing a lot of like, just I've been really interested in like feminist work and stuff like that. And it's just I've gone down this rabbit hole a little bit about like how it's joy is rebellious. It is quite literally counterculture.
Yeah,
It's counterculture.
that's making me want to do it more. I'm like, all right, I'm
Exactly.
sticking it to the man.
I know. Thank
We're gonna
you.
do nothing. I like it. I feel like that's what really made me switch, like, not to go off on a tangent, but like diet culture and body image. Like when I started just fighting, like feeling like this is all like set up to keep me like thinking about this. I'm not gonna participate.
Yep.
Like that feels good rather than like also it's not another thing I have to accept my body. I have to do all this work. I have to learn to love myself. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh wait, I could just like not participate in that bullshit. And so I think we're onto something with even looking at joy that way to be like, it's not something else that
Yeah.
we have to do. It's like something we get to
Mm,
do. I like
yes.
that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is such a beautiful reframe too, Deanna. Yeah, I love that. It's it's definitely rebellious. Joy is healthy. It's just it blows my mind, the things that we have been taught about our bodies, about joy, about rest, about success. I mean, we've been taught a whole slew of BS along the way. And joy is one of those things that I just feel like is so important for us. And it's so healthy on so many different levels. At least that's how I've experienced it in my life. Like joy has really helped me center my life back on what it means for me to be healthy and feel healthy in my life. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's powerful stuff, honestly. Like joy feels like so like like
Yeah,
kind
like
of
ditzy. Like,
like playful and like but it's some deep work too.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is also reminding me of, you know how people have like a word of the year sometimes? I
Yes.
tried to do that a lot because I was like, oh, that's cute. It's like, doesn't feel like a lot of accidental, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, let's just pick a word.
Yeah.
But none of them really stuck except for one year I picked fuck it as my word of the year. Fuck it. Just, something's going terribly, you're like, fuck it. If something, whatever. And that one stuck. And like, I still use it a lot to
Yeah.
say, oh, well, like, it's basically like, I'm doing my best. Like, fuck it. It's fine. Or like when you're scared and you're like, fuck it. Let's try it. So I think because you're a rebel with your potty mouth, I'm like, Ashley's going to like my fuck it mantra.
I love it.
But I think that would work for when you're trying to sort of lean into joy and those voices start popping up, like your to do list and you're like the emails you have to check or whatever, all the things you listed is like, no, fuck
Fuck
it.
it.
Like, I'm going to do this thing I'm doing.
I
Love
love
it.
that so freaking much, Deanna. Yes.
I'm like,
That is so good. And I think that's such a like good indicator of like you're in your values, you're in your authenticity. When something sticks like that, like you really know that you're on the right path, like you said, I'm like I should be walking or I should be doing this. Like when you get that pull energy where you're like this feels easy,
mhm.
like that is such a good indicator of like okay, like more of this, like I'm on the right track. We're so used to pushing and forcing ourselves into these things and into these ideas and into these boxes. So the times when I'm like, oh, I'm feeling pulled. It's like, oh, there it is. Like, oh my gosh, it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be so freaking hard all the time.
Mhm.
So I love that. That was just a
Yeah.
little tangent, but yeah.
No, I like that. Yeah, I always joke that I'm like, well, the things I want to do, I'm never like, oh, I should totally eat more ice cream. Like, I have no problem like doing the things I want to do, but it seems like it's always kind of the things I don't really want to do that I'm always saying I should be doing and like feeling bad about it. But if you really look, it's like, maybe I could walk more, but also maybe I could dance more. Maybe I
Yes.
could play tag with my kids, or like maybe there's other ways to move my body. If the walking is feeling like a should,
Yeah.
what would feel more
Yeah.
like joy? And that's what
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about too. How do we, is there a way, and is this, I'm like, is this me trying to be super productive and be a multitasker? But I think you're gonna be into this, but maybe not. I'm like that thing where you were like, is this joy? I'm like, is this overproductive or no? Like trying to infuse joy into things we have to do. Like,
Mm.
is that a double dip? Is that allowed? Does the joy have to be separate from the things we already have on our list?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I
Good.
don't
Me
think
neither.
there's any
I'm like, me
rules.
neither, but I don't, what do I
Yeah.
know about joy?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there are any rules.
Mhm.
Like you get to decide, you get to make up the rules and the standards and the guidelines in your life. If you want to infuse more joy into the thing that drives you crazy, by all means, like I am like, yes, girl, go for it, do it, please. I absolutely do that. And if I am like in tax season, for example, or something like that, or I'm in a season of like, oh my gosh, this just feels like torture for me to be doing this or creating this content. Like I create something that I can look forward to on the other side of that.
Mhm.
Like something that I can anticipate. And that's actually, there's a lot of research around the neuroscience of happiness about the importance of having something to look forward to. So, when you're like, okay, I'm going to get this thing done, and then I get to like make myself the most beautiful, delicious meal. Like there is something to be said about that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there are no rules when it comes to joy. Please like infuse it into as much as you possibly can, like double dip, triple dip, like
Okay, good. I was like, am I just trying to be really productive with my joy and like smush it into other things?
push it. Please
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Let's talk about the idea when you sort of were talking about how do we know? Like if we're so far away from joy right now and we're ready to like figure this out and we're gonna like lean into joy, but we're like, where do I even start? Last time, I feel like I watched a reel on your page about the women out there shopping at Home Goods on a Sunday and wondering why their life feels so empty. And I was like, excuse me, rude, you're kicked off the podcast.
I know. You're like, you're not coming on here to talk to me about this. No, no, ma'am.
But just the idea that we've like checked all the boxes. And
Yeah.
then you turn around and you're like, wait a minute, I've been like optimizing for success and productivity. How do I even remember? And you did already mention that it can change too. Like something you might have loved 10 years ago. You're like, I'm going to do that thing. And then you're like, wait, this doesn't actually bring me joy anymore. So, how do we like start to find it? Hey, what are you doing on Thursdays? Want to come hang with me inside the Playhouse? It's part networking space, part creative clubhouse, and part, oh, thank God, other weirdos like me. And until July 2nd, you can join for just $150 per year. Head to jointheplayhouse.com to check it out. See you next Thursday.
That is like the $1 million question. I love this question so much. I don't, this is probably going to piss a lot of like the type A people off because I don't think that there is like a cookie cutter answer to this question. Because a big part of the work around joy is experimentation and exploration, and getting really curious about what would this look like? How could I incorporate more joy? What did bring me joy? What does bring me joy? And like getting really curious about this. And this is where journaling for me does come in. But I think, going back to that reel of like, if you're the amazing woman who is like shopping at Home Goods and you have the kids, you have the house, you have this, you have all of these things that society taught us that we need to have in order to be happy, but you're going, wait, something is missing. Like the question that I've been really asking myself a lot is, am I full or am I fulfilled? Like, because I think a lot of our lives are full, right? That we're busy. I mean, this is a crazy world that we're living in. There's a lot of things on our plate. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to manage. There's a lot that we're responsible for. And so fulfillment, even just those two words alone, I get a different feeling in my body. Like, am I full? That feels constricted. That feels like heavy. That feels like pressure, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
when, like last night, like when I ate too much because my husband decided to make these delicious, this delicious meal, it's like, oh, right. It's kind of like that sick feeling versus
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled is like, there's an openness, there's an expansion, there's a feeling of like, possibility even, like you're kind of like chin up looking to the sunrise, like there's more out there than just being productive all of the time, so for me it is kind of maybe that more spiritual piece and that feeling in my body, which is maybe going to be different for me than it is for you. So it
Mm-hmm.
really is that feeling. I mean, have you ever had that feeling, Deanna, where you feel expansive, where you're like, this is what joy feels like? Or does it
I
feel
think
like something different?
I think it comes in like little moments, right? I think I might get emotional. Oh my God, are you gonna make me cry on my podcast about joy?
Yes,
I
please.
just feel like um we have talked about the fact that I have two kids and that sometimes like they're almost 7 and 10, so it's getting easier and different, a little sassier, but like easier, right? Like I'm not wiping butts, I'm not doing bottles. Um, but like it's just a lot of work. But every once in a while I'm like, oh, this is like a little moment. Like we're playing a word game or we're not even doing anything, or somebody says something funny and we're all laughing and I'm like, oh, this is it. So I don't think it's ever like for me, and maybe that's an unrealistic expectation to think, okay, I listened to this podcast episode with Ashley, I journaled, and now I'm like, now I'm joyful
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
But I think when I have those moments, I do sort of feel like, ooh, how can I get more of that? Like, how can you make space for more of that? Does that make sense?
It does make complete sense. Of course, our little primal brains want to like attach to that, like, oh, this feels good, like I want more, I want more, I want more. The kicker, Deanna, is being in that moment, because that is joy. Like what you just described, like I just got full body chills. That is joy. Joy is that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, my kid just said the most hilarious thing, and I'm going to remember that forever. Or like it's just this little tiny thing that happens and you're like, "Oh, what? Like how am I so lucky?" Or I'm so grateful. That is joy. That
Mm-hmm.
is joy. So the kicker isn't, oh, how do I get more? The kicker is recognition of being like, oh my God, this feels so good. I love my kid so much. Like whatever it is, like, or this bite of food is so delicious. Like that is joy. It is
Mm-hmm.
so simple. And I think we've overcomplicated it, So
Yeah.
I love that. Joy is a moment. Absolutely it is.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you too. This is not a sponsored commercial in my podcast, but there's a app called 1 Second Every Day, and it's like you take video like whenever I mean, I had to cool my jets because I'm the type who's like, okay, 1 second every day. Every day I have to find something cute to photo, like to make it. So we don't do a second every day, but we usually, whenever I'm gonna take a picture, I just quickly like film a couple seconds on my iPhone. Which I was mad at first too, because I was like, great, I've just doubled my work. Now, as a mom, I'm supposed to make like books from Shutterfly, and now I'm making a second every day. But a little second every day. So I've been doing it. I mean, I had videos on my camera, so I've done a few years now, and so like 365 seconds, was that like a few minutes of a video, and it like puts cute little instrumental music on it, and it that I think kind of reminds you, it's a very interesting thing because it's a video. Like it's weird, on like people do slideshows and the pictures come in and out, but watching the video feels with no sound but just this music, and it just feels like you're when I watch those, I'm like, oh, yes. Oh my God, it is annoying. Like meal prep and like making dinner and school homework and whatever. But then when I watch that, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, it's okay. we have joy. Look, we had fun. Look at all these fun things. Or sometimes I'm like, oh, the budget and my kids don't get to do as many activities as other kids. Like you just get caught up in all this bullshit. But then when you watch that, you're like, oh my God, we did do fun things. We do fun things.
Yeah.
Um, so
Joy.
I don't know why I went on that tangent, but that also watching those videos helps me be like, oh, look at this little collage of videos of us like living, right? I mean, I feel like joy in living is like
The same, it's being alive. It's being alive in those moments. And I think that 1 second, that all of those seconds put into one video is a moment of joy after joy after joy after joy after joy. And that is what it means to be alive in this life. And are there annoying moments? Absolutely. But we really have to remind ourselves by these like 1 second moments that joy is still here. Joy is everywhere. It is everywhere. But are we looking for it? Are we seeing it? Are we acknowledging it? And that is what it sounds like you've been doing too.
Okay, I have one more thing. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much because like I'm interviewing you, but
Please,
now I'm like on this tangent because like one of the
please.
things that we did recently that's in our 1 second video because I like zoomed in on it is a puzzle we did. And so I think there's something here and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say and then I want you to like be my shrink and dissect it or tell us what is happening. But like while we're doing the puzzle, it's annoying sometimes. This part's hard. I can't find this piece. Oh, this is annoying. We have to stop and go start cooking dinner. Or, who's going to put in the last piece can be an argument sometimes in our house. And like, whatever. I'm sure there were like, it's not just like we did a puzzle and we are the perfect family and it was joy the entire time we did this 1,000 piece puzzle. But I don't know what I'm trying to say, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's
Yeah, like
frustration in there, there's arguments
yes,
in there, but like
that comes back.
distilling out the joy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think, how I'm interpreting what you're saying, Deanna, is around like the expectation that joy is like this perfect experience. Like it's this, just pure, perfect, miraculous experience, if you will, and that's just another expectation that we do have to like dismantle because joy, it can be really messy and it can be really frustrating at times. And joy is very imperfect at times.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question,
Yeah.
but I think it just like we do have this expectation like it's going to change everything and it's going to make everything better. And then it's going to fix this and it's going to fix that. Well, sometimes joy is being like putting together the puzzle and being like, oh, I have to get up and fix dinner. And then like coming back to it and then being like, oh, I can't find this one freaking piece. And like,
Uh-huh.
but like being so present, joy really is happening in the present moment. So, finding those little micro moments, that is joy as well. So yeah.
And there's definitely, I guess, what you're talking about is an aspect of mindfulness. Like
Yes.
you might be already having joy that you're just like too busy to notice.
1,000%. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. So many of my clients will come to me and they're like, I don't know, like, I feel like something is still like missing, or like, I just don't, I'm like, well, are you in it? Are you living it? Are you experiencing? Are you recognizing, like, again, just like a sip of the coffee and just being like, this is delicious. Like, and just being with it. That is a big piece of it for sure. So yeah.
Okay.
Mindfulness.
I like that. Because one of the things that you said on your social media post was, I don't know, I wrote this down in my notes. So who knows where it came from, but it was definitely from you. So stop managing your life and start living it. Joy needs space, not optimization.
Yes.
I don't know. I
Yes.
just really like that.
I, we're just out here like life hacking everything. And I get it, like, because sometimes that's necessary, like I am a realist when it comes to joy. I'm not expecting all of us to, be joyful 24/7. That's impossible. Sometimes it's impossible to get that 5 minutes of joy into our lives. Like that's okay. Like keeping it on our radar, keeping it in our orbit as much as we can. Like that's really what it is. It's about, giving it space and just remembering that it's there, even if you are in a hard season, even if you are struggling. Like that's one of the things, because I've actually been in a, 'cause 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 I've actually been in a, ' pretty difficult season in my life right now. And joy has been hard for me to access, which is tough, but I just always remember like my joy lives like right at my solar plexus, like, and I just remind myself it's there. Like I can tap into it, I can feel it if I want to. I know how to access it. And sometimes I choose not to. And that's okay, So
Fuck
joy
it.
is very fuck it. Like joy is very imperfect. So yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this was awesome. Thank you for making me cry. I just need to have a little good cry today. Um, this is awesome. Your work is awesome. You're so funny. I didn't even get to the part, but I just want to read this one out loud because on your Instagram you post some of your journal prompts. And I know you have a community where people can go to your website and check it out. But one of your journal prompts was, where am I being a little bitch and need to just say yes to what I really want? And I was like, this is hilarious. That's the kind of like, I'm always saying I'm like woo curious or whatever. I'm like, that's the kind of sassy woo mindfulness stuff I can get behind. So
It can be playful.
I like it.
Like journaling can be playful, so
I love it. Okay, tell the people where they can hang out with you online so that they can also be your new friends.
Oh my gosh, yes. So at Ashley Looker on Instagram, and my website is the same, ashley-looker.com. So,
and it'll all be in the show notes. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was
thank
awesome.
you. I had so much fun. Thank you, Deanna.
Guess what? You're invited to our next Playhouse networking party. It's free, there's music, fun questions to break the ice, and absolutely no one will be pitch slapping you. Head to jointheplayhouse.com/party, and we'll see you there. Oh my gosh, I love these 80s vibes.